I'd like to welcome you to our live instructional webinars designed to support the school annual yearbook program. Today we'll be focusing on the functions of the that relate to the building of the activity or candid. Specifically, we will be reviewing pages, bleeds and margins, toolbar design functions, templates, click and go templates, custom templates, and themes. This webinar will be approximately 40 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first off, let's talk about bleeds and margins. So right here on the screen, we have an example of what we're talking about. So first off, in this green area right here is considered safe. Anything inside this blue line right here will be considered safe. Anything inside this orange area right here, you're kind of pushing the whether or not it will be trimmed. The trim line is there's about a plus and minus 1/8 inch right there. So then the trim could be determined based on like the paper, the sharpness of the blade, how it's turned, the operator, or just how things are being cut that day. Um, so that's why this area right here is kind of use a little bit of caution right here inside this red box. Anything outside this red box will most definitely get trimmed. To give you some example right here. So anyone, so these pictures right here, let's go somewhere right here. And there we go right there. So if you were to put students in this corner right here, you would probably be safe here at the top, but here at the sides, you run the risk of this student right here being trimmed. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Student right here, most of this image will be fine. Right here at the very top, you run the risk of trimming the top part of this image right here and this image right here. Now to show you what I mean, we're going to go ahead and save this. If you come up to File and then View PDF, this will show you a PDF preview. And I want to show you exactly what we are talking about when we talk about trim line. So this right here will show you the trim line. This little black and white dotted line all the way around. So anywhere this line goes through, that's where it's going to be trimmed. Like I said, there's a plus minus 1/8, so it could be 1/8 on the inside or 1/8 on the outside. So that's one thing that you need to really take into consideration when putting images this close to the top part of the edge right here is what's going to be trimmed. Now, one thing we want to make sure that if you do have like a custom background, and we'll talk about backgrounds here later on in the webinar, but if you have custom backgrounds, you want to make sure that they actually extend up into this gray area right here. The reason being is that you want to make sure that your background, um, when trimmed, the coloring goes all the way to the edge of the paper, and you don't have like a white line that goes all the way around. It kind of looks like the print was off just a little bit when printing on the piece of paper. So this way the background is solid all the way around. All right, so let's go ahead with some designer basics. So let's talk about this area right here. This is the Layout Pro. And so right here, we're going to talk about, we'll talk about file and all this information right here on this toolbar, as well as this toolbar right here on the side. So first off, let's go with File. Under File, you'll have your Save. Save as a template. We'll talk about saving things as templates here later on. And you also have your View as a PDF right here. Under Edit, you'll have your Undo and Redo. You also have that here in your arrows, your Undo and Redo right there. You also have your cut, copy, and paste, and delete right here. You also have delete right here, this little trash can. Cut, copy, paste. You can still do that Control C, Control V. Change background. Like I said, we'll show you changing backgrounds here pretty soon. Spell check. Um, Please keep in mind that the spell check is not as robust as other spell checks, so it's not going to pick up some of the things like if you're using TO or TOO, it's not going to tell the difference between the two of them. So please double check your spelling, especially like your theirs. So double check that because it's not going to pick those up. If it's spelled correctly, it's going to say it's spelled correctly, but it's not going to pick up the fact that it's the wrong spelling of that word. Right here under view, here's where you can view your zoom in, zoom out. Right here, we're going to talk about these two right here, these facing pages and single page. If you have staff members, maybe one's on the left page, one's on the right page, two different staff members on this. So one of the things that you may want to do is click on single page. Then the reason why you want to do that is so one can work on the left page and one can work on the right page without causing a save conflict error. So whoever saves on this page, so if I'm on this page and I save it, I take ownership of the page. And whoever else is on the page working on it would have to save their work as a template or stop working on the page until I'm done. To combat that, all you have to do is go up to View, go down to Single Page View, and then I can work on my page while the other student works on their page, and we don't interrupt each other. We don't have to worry about save conflicts or anything like that. And if you ever want to put those back, just come back over to View, Facing Page, and then that's put back to double page spread. Under Arrange, we have Lock and Unlock. This page right here is currently locked. So if I wanted to unlock it, I come up to Arrange, Lock, Unlock, and then click on Unlock All. And now that's this page, this right here can be moved. Here we have Group and Ungroup in case you want to group a bunch of stuff together. Then we have Arrange Vertical and Horizontal. So we're going to put a couple of things right here. And so right here, if we had these two selected, we go up to Arrange. Oh, excuse me, I forgot it. We'll move it over here. There we go. I don't have to worry about these other pages. We can go up to Arrange and we could do to the left. Vertical, we could do to the top. So that's just what it does. It just arranges things so that you can make sure everything's even horizontally or vertically. We do not have even distribution. Right here, transform, we can always flip these. Mirror, it just simply mirrors what you have on one page onto the other page. All right, so let's talk about this. And then real quick, here's your, like I said, here's your undo and review. Your spell check, your print preview. When you click on that, it will do the same thing as your view as PDF. It just takes you to your page as a PDF. And real quick, if you ever need to print, make sure you do fit to printable area. You may see it like this, and you'll see that some of it is cut off here on the right and underneath it. But if you do fit to printable area, well, cancel. So if you do fit to printable area, that's when you'll see the full right side and the bottom part. And there's the save button right here. So that way you can either go to file and save or click on the save button right here. So let's talk about this part right here real quick. Right here, you have pages, so you can actually scroll through your pages without having to go back to plan, page ladder, scroll down, and then click on the page that you want. From here, you can just scroll through, click on the page you want, it'll take you to that page. It's a lot easier. Right here, designs, we have some of your templates, and we'll talk about templates here next. Images, there's a little drop down menu right here. So under activity, all you have to do is click this little arrow and you can see all the subfolders underneath activity. And you can just go to any of the classes or any of the folders that you need to and find whatever image you need for that page. Under art, here we have image frames. The image frames are for images that you can set these up any way you want. And then you can always go back to images and then drop that image in there. If it's purple like that, that means that the box is too big for the image that you have. So you can always shorten that up just a little bit. So you can always shorten that up just a little bit. Come back over and get your image. If it's green, it's good to go. And you can drop your image in just like that. Right here, the clip art. The clip art, you could use that whole entire library right here. If you have your school has a theme, you can look under themes. Anything from your cover that you've selected will be under by cover. And in here, you can click on whatever your cover is. Your clip art will usually be right here. Um, you might see your backgrounds first, but you'll maybe have to scroll down just a little bit to see your clip art. And here you can drag and drop, and then use the yellow boxes in the corner to make the clip art larger, smaller. If you use the ones on the side, what will happen is you'll start seeing your image get bigger and it will actually be larger than the actual box size. So that's why we always say use the ones in the corner right here. All right, next are shapes. These shape boxes right here, just different ones right here. These are good for just spacing, just little like little spacers. So you can set them up right here. You can do like this or whatever. And then when you're doing some image frames, you could put some image frames right here, something underneath. Just however you want to set it up or whatever. But you can use these as accent pieces or just spacers or whatever you need to use them for um, in your book. Next is text. Right here are all your text, your page number right here. Um, the nicest thing about the page number is you can click and hold, bring it onto the page, just let go, and you will see right here it just snapped to the bottom, to the bottom corner, and it will display the correct page number. So if for whatever reason you go through and you remove all of your stuff and you want your page number back, just come over, bring up your page number, bring your page number to the other page, and like I said, it will snap to the corner and be the correct page number. Right here is your flow. We talked about this in the last webinar on how to flow the images. Right here is your history. Your history will display everything that you have done. Anytime you have hit save, your history will be right here. It will display everything you did this week, yesterday, last week, and right here, older version will display every time you've ever hit save. So that way, if you need to go back to a previous save or a previous design, all you have to do is click and hold, drag it over, let go, and your design is right there. So let me go over to the next page. And let's see, all time. So here we go. So all I have to do is drag it over right here. And then there's the page that I have done previously. It will go back even all the way to the when the page was first created. All right, let's talk. Oh, real quick, let's talk about the ruler right here. There is a ruler that you can put your cursor on. If you look, you will see that the cursor goes from a single arrow to a four-way arrow. If you click and hold and drag that little bar down right here, you can use that to align things. So you can bring it kind of like right here, bring the next one over, and then the next, you set everything up like here to help kind of help align everything. Once you're done, and by the way, the lines won't print, so don't worry about those just sitting on your page. But if you don't want them on your page, all you have to do is come up to edit, excuse me, view, grid lines, and then right here, clear row grid lines, clear column grid lines, or just clear all. And then right there, they're all gone. All right. So let's talk about templates now. So we're going to talk about placing templates, saving templates, click and goes, where to find everything and all that. So let's go over to design. And let's talk about right here, candids. So here's some of the candid templates right here. Under page surfer, we also have clubs and organizations, gallery. And so to place one of these on your page, all you have to do is click and hold, drag it over to your page, let go. Now you're going to get this pop up right here. It says, do you want to retain existing content? So let me show you what it does. So I'm going to grab this right here and this right here. Come back over to my designs. So again, you get this little pop-up right here. If I say yes, like I want to retain what is on the page, it's going to put those stars somewhere. It's going to put them in whatever box it fits in, and it will put them in right here. Now, if I grab the same template, come over, and I say no, like I know I don't want to retain anything that's on the page, then it's going to remove, including backgrounds, remove everything on the page in favor of the new template. So it's basically just a clean slate with a new template on there. Everything on the template you can click on and edit. So if you want to click on this little shape box that's in the back and you don't want the yellow on there, you want to do it maybe school colors. So you can click on that. Maybe click on that one. So you can always change the coloring. And then right here, you'll see used on page. Any coloring that's used from the color right here will be saved up here, used on page. So that way, if you don't have to go hunting for it, it's right here on top. So you get that on there, you don't like it, you can always choose another one, click on no, and again, it deletes what was on there in favor of the new template. Now, if you got done making a template, something like this, and you want to use it on multiple templates or multiple pages, what you can do is come over here to File, Save as Template, give the template a name. Now, I would suggest doing, especially if this is candid. In fact, let me get a candid, not candid, but let me get a portrait on there. So we go over to portrait. Let's get a portrait one on here. Let's do something like this and like this. So if we want to save this as a template, because we're going to be using these portrait pages on multiple pages, what you can do is, like I said, give it a name. We would suggest do both pages, then come back and do right page as a name, and then left page as a name. And the reason is that way, in case you get all the way down and there's still one more page, whether it's a left or a right page, you still have those. Click on Save. And then those can be found. If you come up to Custom, you'll have My Click and Go and My Templates. If you click on My Templates, you will have right here the one you just did. You'll have also your other templates right here as well. Right. So next, let's talk about click and go templates, because some of you may look at those and may use them. So let's go with, there we go. So click and go, you have cover to cover, headline, infograph. Right here is an infograph. It may be like the kid's favorite field trip or the kid's favorite lunch menu, whatever it may be. Now, if you put it like in a corner right here, if you have it selected, you see this dotted yellow line all the way around. So this dotted line right here means it's grouped. All this information is grouped together. In order to ungroup it, just come over here to the toolbar that appears when you click on it. If you click off of it, toolbar goes away. Click back on this infograph. There's the toolbar right there. So you can click right here to ungroup. Once you click on group here, you will see all these are individual elements now. Or you can always go to arrange and then ungroup. And then once again, these are all individual elements. And then we can zoom in here real quick. And so from here, you can always change this information. Click on this and change it to um, you know, change that information as well. And then change this bar to however you need to change it. Then once you're done, um, we would suggest click and hold, drag and select everything, and then group that back together. That way, in case you need to move it somewhere else, because you think it works better over here, you're not having to try and drag every little piece with it. Then if you ever make your own, if you make this, the only difference between save as a template and save as a click and go is just right here, just the different words. So you can save it as a click and go, give it a name, click save. And then here under My Click and Go, that's where you'll find the one you need. And then you can always drag and drop as many as you need, and then undo it to work on it. So, all right, let's go ahead and talk about backgrounds. So backgrounds will have to be placed on each page individually. So to place a background on there, there's two ways to do it. One is to go to Edit, Change Background, and you'll get this little pop-up right here. Or you can right-click, Change Background, and you'll get the same pop-up. Right here is you have left page and right page. So just click on what page you want to put a background on. The first one we have is the background color. Here you can choose any one of these different colors. If you choose this one right here, and it will just automatically make that as a background. Now the thing about this, doing it this way, is that background, I cannot select it. We do have, I will let you know now, we do have a lot of people that will do this. They'll see the background right here under clip art, and they'll click and hold and they'll drag it over, and then just this little square right here, or they'll come over here and they'll drag it, and then there'll still be that little white piece right here or whatever, or they'll drag it right there, but then when they go to put something else onto it, it may, like another piece of clip art, or you put your image frame there, and then when you need to select something or select multiple objects, you end up selecting your background. So this is why we always tell people to make sure you're putting your backgrounds on like this, with the change background tool. So to choose an image to put on there, either from your cover or from a theme, or maybe it's the one that you have done yourself, click on Choose Image. You can click on this little arrow right here to bring down a drop-down menu. And then if it's one that you have done under Activity, um, I would highly suggest making a folder called Backgrounds, and then putting any custom backgrounds in there. Then you can always go to that and then upload from there. We also have alt backgrounds. These are our default backgrounds that you can use. All you have to do is select one, click on select, and the background's right there. If there's one from your cover, all you have to do is click on the down arrow for clip art, the down arrow for my cover, and then see under blocks, find the one you want, click on select, and it will show up there um, as a background. Now you will see these little grid lines. Don't worry, these will not print. If we click on save and then we go to page preview, then here you will be able to preview the coloring right there and right there. So everything will be fine with these backgrounds. So in some of these, by the way, in some of these, you can, like technically this is a clip art, this letter A right here, but it can be used as a background. So you can click on that and use that as background if you want to. If you get in there, let's see if I can find one. Oh, there we go. If you get in there and you see a red box around one, that means it cannot be used as a background. It's not formatted correctly to be used as a background. Let's go here. So some of these, you can use that as a background if you want to. If you want, you can flip those. You can rotate it. If you need to, you can crop it. So you can't crop it. What this does, you just make the image just a little bit bigger. Then you can move it around to wherever you need it. As soon as you click off, then it will display it just where it needs, just where you had it. So right here, we have a snap edit, which we'll actually talk about snap edit here momentarily. Tint, right here, you can actually make that background just a little bit lighter. This is very useful if you have a darker background and you don't want it to, or a background that may be like really bright looking, and you don't want it to overpower your images or what you have on there, especially text. So if you want to, you can always tone that down just a little bit. If for any reason you need to remove a background, just click this button right here and it removes the background. Go over to the right page, remove background, and there you go. All right, so we're going to talk about formatting some of your text boxes in images. So let's go ahead and get a text box right here. In fact, let's get this one. So we'll get this one right here, and we'll get an image. And put the image right there. That little pop-up just lets you know that, hey, you've already used this image somewhere in the book. Do you want to keep using it? And you click yes or no. So let's talk about formatting the names right here. So here we can put the name right here, and we can make this text box bigger. And the reason why we may need to make it bigger is here we have the font size. So if we move the font size up a little bit, you can see there's a red X. Red X means that your text is larger than the box can be displayed in. So all we have to do is make this box a little bit bigger, and now we can display the name. So with this name selected, let's talk about this toolbar that's right up here. Here we can change the change the font. I'm going to change it to my favorite font right here. And when you change the font, again, it may do this. So you may have to make the text box just a little bit bigger to display that font, either wider or maybe just a little taller right there. Right here, you have the font size, the font color right here. So we'll do this right here. You can put a stroke around the box, so you can actually make like a little box around here. You can bold, italic, underline. Right here, you can align the word, so you can actually put it in the middle and have it aligned in the middle as well. So you can center and then align it in the middle. Spacing just lets you control the spacing between all the words and all that. So honestly, we don't really need to mess with that. Format and effects. We'll talk about this here real quick. So right here, you can make a transparency. So you can actually make that transparent if you want to, just leave it alone. Drop shadow right here. So let's click on drop shadow. So we can actually put a shadow right here in the name. You can change the coloring right here if you want to. So we can actually find something kind of nice. The distance just changed how far away that shadow is. The degree just which way that looks like the sunlight is coming in, or whatever light source is coming in. The opacity is how much of that can you see versus just how little of that shadow you can see. Usually about 50, 60 is pretty good. The degree here, about 50 is all right. Yeah, you could leave it at 50. The distance between 8 and 10 is pretty good. And then the blur, just how blurry is the letters versus not how blurry. I always just leave it at 4, honestly. So that's how you can do that one. Then for glow just puts like a little glow around the words. So we can make that very so we can actually have that glow very wide or just a little bit. Traditionally, a lot of people just stick with the drop shadow, and for whatever reason you don't want the drop shadow on there, just click on off, and that drop shadow goes away. Also here under color, I almost forgot to tell you, here you can change the text shape right here. So if you want to put a stroke line around the text, you can. You just have to make sure you click on text stroke right here. By default, it always goes back to text fill. So every time you click this little box, it always defaults back to there. So you can also click on shape stroke. So you can click on coloring right there. Under shape fill, you can click on something like that, and then you can have basically take care of two things at once. You can have your text and your shape box right there. So basically that acts as 2 in 1 right there. And what I mean by that is basically I could take a shape box right here, reshape it like this, come over to my color, select the one that's used on page, come over to text, put my text box right here, change that over, change that, change the coloring, come back and change the stroke. So there you go. So what I was able to do right here, it actually took me 2 different pieces and a little bit longer to do. So that's the difference between doing it this way and then just doing it like this with a simple shape box and right here. Well, that's right. And then alignment, you would have to do center, and then middle. All right. So next, let's talk about things you can do with the images right here and formatting and effects on these. So you can actually click right here. If you want to, you can add a stroke line all the way around it. You can actually change the coloring of the stroke line and the thickness of the stroke line as well. Right here under Format and Effects, here you can round the corners if you want to. You can also make it a little bit of transparent. You can also change the tint a little bit. The drop shadow, you can have a drop shadow, change the degree, the occupancy, make it a real bright dress shadow, a real noticeable drop shadow, or you can light it up just a little bit. Your glow right here, your glow probably works a little bit better on images than it does on text. So you can put a little glow behind it as well. Oh, here, before we talk about snap edit, let's talk about crop right here. So if you have an image right here, but you want to focus more on the person, you can click on crop. This will isolate the photo and then isolate the box that it's in. And you can stretch that a little bit bigger, move that around. Then when you click off of it, here you can see that it's cropped and more centered or more focused on whatever you need it to be focused on. All right, next we're going to talk about Snap Edit right here. So Snap Edit has different features in it. You can turn the image black and white. Uh, you can turn the image kind of like an Old West looking photo. You can add an overlay with different coloring and then change that. You can do colorize. Some of the clip art you can actually colorize and change that. Let's actually get a piece of clip art right here, and I can actually show you the difference. All right, so I'm gonna now this one right here. So what we want to do is we want to take this piece of clip art right here. We're going to go up to right here, colorize, and we're going to do purple, and maybe change it a little bit, make it a little more uh, like a purple pewter color right there. And we're going to click on save. Now what this will do is it will actually save a copy of this. It's not going to save over the original, just like it won't save over the original image. It'll just save over a copy of the image. So here now we have a different color if clip art if we want a different color clip art. So for the image right here, you can also come in and change the brightness, the contrast, and saturation. So if you need to adjust a little bit, make it a little bit, maybe a little bit brighter. See if we could change. Yeah, just leave that alone, and maybe see if we can't change that saturation just a little bit. Here we go. And like I said, when we hit on copy or save, here is the original right here, and then here is the saved image. So the original is always going to be left alone, and it'll just save a copy of the one that we just edited. Also with Snap Edit, we can click on Mask right here, and we have Smart Eraser or just regular eraser. I always click on regular eraser. We have brush size and tolerance. We can just leave those alone for a little bit, or we can just adjust that. Here we have transparent. So if we ever want to make this transparent, or maybe we just want to cut off just a little bit of this image right here for whatever reason, And there we go right there. It will actually make this a transparent image. So if we click on save, here that is actually now transparent. And let's see, if we go back to mask, we can actually unerase right here and actually bring that and actually remove that mask right there. So under transparent, we also have black and white. So if we want to, okay, black and white, oh, erase. Okay, make sure it's on erase. So if we want to do something a little bit creative here and just highlight student, and there we go. We could just take out the coloring in the background. All right, then we go to unerase, lower the brush size, bring some of that arm back. Right, so we can click on save, and there we go. We have the student as the focus, and the background is black and white. In doing that as well, you can also, we click on mask here, you can zoom out or zoom in. So if you need to um, zoom in a little bit and maybe clean up a little bit of the area, you can do that as well and get a little bit of a finer detail. Okay, let's show you the history tab. And just making sure I cover everything. Okay, and also if you need to tilt or rotate the image, you can manually rotate like the clip art or the image as well. There's this little line that goes right up here to this square, and you can actually uh, change that as the angle of the image or the clip art or whatever you need to as well. All right, so at this time, well, we'll go ahead and open it up to any questions. If you have any questions, you can type into chat or take yourself off mute and ask any questions. I'm sorry, I don't know. Designate one of the categories that you use. Okay, let me read this outro here real quick. I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. This demonstration of the functions related to the creation of the activity pages may help you when it comes time to build your yearbook. Using the templates already in the program and building your own template should save some time and give the book continuity. Feel free to join us next time. Um, let's see, believe it's in March. We will start talking about finalizing the pages. We'll have that webinar. Um, and then that will be talking about like what you need to look for before you start submitting pages, things you need to maybe take a second look at and clean up a little bit. So we'll be doing all that.